Hey everyone, and welcome back to NDC. Claude Code can turn Visual Studio Code into a AI-powered development environment. I'll show you today how to install, configure, generate code, debug features, and an optional advanced workflow with the terminal. Now, before we get into the process, I do want to mention you do need Claude Pro, which is about $20 or so a month, link below, or you can use the pay-as-you-go API. However, I'd be careful with this, as the more you use it, the more you may be charged. Next, let's set it up. I'm going to already assume that you have Visual Studio Code installed. Once in Visual Studio Code, you'll want to navigate to your Extensions tab. In the extensions, you're going to search for Claude Code for VS Code. We can see here it's the one that's been published by Anthropic, and you'll want to install it. As of recording, the current version is 2.1.22. Should only take a few moments to install, and you should be good to go. Let's open up a project, and you'll notice in the top right, you'll now see a little Claude Code open. You should be able to press on this, and you get a new chat window. Now this chat window is where you can communicate with Claude. The first thing I want to do is use the /login command. Now you can see that you can do it through the Claude AI subscription, through the console, or through the API key through a third-party provider. Since I've done mine through the Claude AI subscription, I'm going to go ahead and use this button. It's then going to pop up in my Safari. This is where I've logged in before. Since I'm already logged in through Claude AI, I can go ahead and authorize. We can now see I'm all set up for Claude Code once I've been authorized. Wonderful. A few settings I want to note is in the bottom left, we can see it's currently on Ask Before Edits. We can click on this to change it to Edit Automatically, which will just edit any of the code automatically, or the Plan mode. Plan mode is great for planning out a large series of actions before execution. I also like to do it for the first step I do in every single project with Claude Code in Visual Studio Code, and that is to create a Claude.md. So if I've already been working in this project, this is an example prompt I would use. Create a Claude.md file for this project, include project purpose, key architecture decisions, coding conventions, and how you should approach common tasks like debugging and adding features. Think of this like creating a rule set or a brain for Claude to use when we're asking it to do coding tasks. We can see it's going through, it's thinking. If you ever want to see how it's been doing its thinking, you can generally click on this little drop down and it'll show the behind the scenes thinking of what Claude is doing. You can see that it's finding the source code, any of the imports. In this case, I have a Tkinter app. That's just a basic password checker. Once it's done, we have the option to yes and auto accept the plan, yes and manually approve those edits, no keep planning, or tell Claude what to do instead. Let's say I'm happy with this, he got it absolutely right. We can go ahead and it's going to read the Claude.md, it's going to create it. Now we can see it's automatically created the Claude markdown in our project. We have the project purpose, why it exists, the architectural design, etc., etc. So we're going to be using this almost like Claude's brain throughout the project. Right now, it's almost like an audit of what currently exists. There's even things like coding conventions, naming conventions, code style, etc. We can also make updates to this file if we wanted. For example, for the coding conventions, if we wanted to have functions, instead use camel case, we could. So then when it creates functions for us, it knows what case to use. We even have code stylings, UI conventions. So this is the audit of how it currently exists. If we want to change how Claude understands our code and writes code for us in the future, this is what we would be updating. Let's go ahead and explore how Claude can help us actually debug code. So I have my password strength checker here. I'm just going to write in a random password, and you'll notice that even though I'm currently satisfying all the requirements, we never fully get the bar to like 5 out of 5 strength. We can once again go to Claude. I'm going to change mine to do ask before edits so we can see its thought process. And if we were to just say fix the bug, Claude wouldn't really understand. The problem with vague prompts is Claude doesn't know what the function should do, what's currently broken, what fixed even looks like, or a broader context. This is a prompt template that I would use in order to have a bug be fixed. And I'll post all these in the description below as well. So using that template, I'm saying the function calculate strength should properly show a 5 out of 5 strength password, but currently it only shows up to 4. The error is also non-existent. It's kind of failing silently. Okay, so it's done some thinking, and we can see that's going to make an edit to the password checker. Let's go ahead and say, yes, this works. You'll also see in the chat, it has its thinking, what the problem is, the edits that it's making, as well as usually a summary at the end. Just as a note, right next to the editing changing, we also have this file here. It's going to be focusing on the same file we currently have open. If you click on it again, it'll update to a kind of eyeball with a line through it. So this is how you can have it look at the same files you are. If you have multiple files, but you're not currently looking at it, maybe you're referencing a function or a front end that exists elsewhere, you can use the @ symbol and it'll show you all the different files in your directory. So let's say we want to change something in Claude.md or reference something here, you can use that @ symbol. Real quick, let's also talk about new features. This is the template I would use for adding new features, right? Add a certain feature to a file. It should have a specific behavior, follow our existing pattern in the similar file, or you can reference the Claude.md. There's also edge cases, or if you have tests, make sure you update those testing files. Let's go ahead and add a random password generator to our project. So by using that template, I've now added a prompt and we're going to have it create a random password generator for us in our password checker. So we should be able to now have a button we can press and get a 5 out of 5 strength password. So we can see that code's thinking, it's importing random string. And if you know it's going to be making a lot of edits and you have full trust, again, I usually like to review the code. You can allow all edits for the session and it's going to go ahead and every time it makes a change, it's going to approve them one by one. Now, something I'd also recommend is while you're using Claude to generate this code, also using Git and like services like GitHub in order to back up your code in case there's any changes, it deletes something and makes some mistakes. AI, just like us humans, aren't perfect, so make sure you're using Git in order to restore previous versions in case anything does break. Another thing is, if it is going to use things like bash commands, this will also require your permission. Anything that may be used in the terminal, etc., will require explicit permission from the user. And we can even see it's currently writing a test for us. So it wrote the test, it said, hey, everything's all good, and then it got rid of that placeholder file. All right, let's go ahead and run it and see its changes in actions. Also, this only took like a few moments. It's very quick. Okay, here's our little project. I'm going to generate a strong password. We can see every time that it does it, it is passing the test. Now, something I notice is when I generate the strong password, it's always being shown. Maybe I need to be more explicit in my instructions and say when it does generate a strong password, keep it hidden until the user says otherwise. Let's also quickly talk about usage. There is a session limit, which resets every 3 or so hours. You can see in this current session, I've used about 43% of my usage and a weekly limit as well. And this is going to reset pretty much. This will reset every single week. You'll see the time, how much you have left. There is also the option for extra usage, but you would be billed for anything on top of that. You can find your usage at claude.ai/settings/usage. Now there are some additional commands and you can find the commands by using the / and you can change things like the memory, permissions, the cost, context, etc. Definitely use / and check out those. Now, I also really want to talk quickly about MCP servers and using Claude through your terminal. We can actually install Claude via our terminal as well as PowerShell for Windows. I'll put the link to this in the description as well, but under the setup Claude Code, we have installation. I recommend doing the native installation or if you're on Mac, Homebrew. You can also see there's the Windows CMD and Windows PowerShell. So since I am on Mac, I'm going to go ahead and copy this curl command. In our terminal, let's go ahead and paste it. We'll run the command and it's actually going to install Claude within our terminal. And there we go. In a few moments, our installation is complete. Why would you want to use it in the terminal? Well, batch file processing, scripting Claude into workflows, as well as MCP server access. So real quick, hopping back into Visual Studio Code with our Claude code, we'll do /MCP servers and we'll continue in our terminal. We can see here that we have the Claude of MCP, a little bit large. We can choose which mode we want to use. Let's do the dark mode. It will require us to also sign in and verify. I'll go ahead and authorize that. Once we're authorized, we can see that it's now in the terminal. We can press enter to continue. I recommend using the recommended settings and trusting the folder. So now we have the terminal experience where we can actually use Claude Code for Visual Studio Code within our terminal. So we can say, hey, Claude, explain this function. And then we'll reference the file of password underscore checker dot py. You can see it's reading the file. So this is just the terminal experience. I like to use the little chat window built into Visual Studio Code. It has the options. It's much easier to use. I think it's a little bit cleaner, but I just wanted to show this so you know how to set up the MCP server and use it through the terminal as well. So now Claude can read and write files directly. The useful MCP server for devs is to have the file system, read project files, Git, you can do the commit, branch, diff, and any custom tools, your API, databases, etc. It's totally optional, but pretty powerful. So super quick video, but now you have Claude in Visual Studio Code. You have the extension for those quick tasks. I really like it. Terminal for those more advanced workflows, and the MCP for tool integration. You can update your Claude.md as your project evolves. Be specific in your prompts, as well as if it is asking questions, you can always include other or provide additional context. Claude Pro is about 20 bucks a month. If you code daily, it can kind of pay for itself with time saved. Totally up to you though. Link in the description for anything that we talked about today. Now, dream big, code bigger, and enjoy using Claude in Visual Studio Code. Have a good one.